Have you ever wondered if the thrills of amusement parks could mask terrifying secrets? Behind bright lights and joyful screams lurk haunting mysteries, tragic accidents, and hidden conspiracies turning fun into your darkest nightmare. Have you ever imagined your happiest moment turning into your worst nightmare within seconds? It was exactly what happened on a sunny afternoon, June 2015, at Alton Towers, Britain's largest theme park, on a roller coaster named the Smiler, known for its thrilling 14 loops. Joy turned to sheer terror as riders suddenly faced a stopped, empty carriage ahead. Screams of excitement became cries of horror. A day of laughter ended in unforgettable tragedy. Imagine being trapped, powerless, seeing danger approach but unable to act. How would you feel, knowing your life could change forever? And there was absolutely nothing you could do. Leah Washington, a 17-year-old vibrant girl, and her boyfriend Joe Pugh, 18, along with 19-year-old Vicky Balch and several others, boarded the Smiler full of excitement, totally unaware of the horrific fate awaiting them. Within minutes, their world turned upside down. An immense metallic crash echoed throughout Alton Towers. Visitors, shocked and confused, watched helplessly. The smell of smoke and twisted metal filled the air as silence fell over the park, only punctuated by cries of agony. What truly happened that day? Was this a terrible accident resulting from mechanical failure? Or was there something darker, more sinister behind the scenes? Could someone intentionally create such a horrifying event? Even years later, the answers remain obscured by suspicion, fear, and speculation. But what if the truth is far more terrifying than anyone imagined? It started as an idyllic summer day at Alton Towers Amusement Park. Families and thrill seekers crowded the vibrant pathways, laughter echoing from every attraction. The star of the park was the Smiler, famed for its 14 breathtaking loops, a ride promising adrenaline-packed excitement. Yet, beneath this thrilling facade lay unnoticed vulnerabilities, destined to unfold into horror. At exactly 1:00 p.m., 16 eager passengers, including Leah Washington, her boyfriend Joe Pugh, and Vicky Balch stepped onto the Smiler, buckling safety harnesses and exchanging excited glances. The ride began as usual, smoothly accelerating along its twisting tracks. Then, suddenly, the roller coaster halted midway due to a sensor detecting a minor fault. Passengers initially laughed, presuming it was just a harmless glitch, completely unaware their world was seconds away from devastation. Inside the control booth, operators anxiously checked the automated system. Regulations demanded thorough manual inspections after any unexpected stop. Yet, astonishingly, this crucial step was skipped. Even more critically, staff failed to notice a second, empty carriage stranded further ahead on the tracks, an oversight resulting from hurried diagnostics and chaotic communication. At precisely 1:51 p.m., without verifying the track visually, operators mistakenly resumed the ride. Passengers surged forward, speeding toward disaster at nearly 50 miles per hour. As riders rounded a loop, their exhilaration shattered into dread. Just ahead stood the empty carriage, motionless, unavoidable. Screams filled the air moments before the horrific collision. The massive impact echoed throughout the park, drawing horrified visitors toward the chaotic scene. Mangled steel and shattered fiberglass painted a grim picture. Trapped within twisted wreckage were passengers in agony, among them Leah and Vicky, their legs devastatingly pinned between crushed frames. Emergency sirens wailed through stunned silence, rescuers racing to aid the injured. Eyewitness accounts quickly highlighted strange anomalies around the event. A bystander vividly remembered security camera monitors flickering bizarrely moments before impact, a brief yet deliberate malfunction. Another witness, a young girl named Emily, recalled noticing an agitated technician hastily leaving the control booth minutes earlier, a person whose presence remained unexplained by official records. Police investigations rapidly uncovered disturbing inconsistencies. Operators initially swore they meticulously adhered to safety protocols, yet computer logs revealed manual overrides performed moments before catastrophe struck. These overrides deliberately bypassed automated safety warnings. Even more troublingly, crucial CCTV footage from critical angles mysteriously vanished, erased without explanation. These combined irregularities swiftly cast a shadow of suspicion, raising the chilling possibility of intentional sabotage. Further inquiries exposed underlying tension among Alton Towers employees. Anonymous staff testified to escalating internal conflicts over working conditions, safety negligence, and pay disputes. Could a disgruntled worker, motivated by bitterness, deliberately orchestrate or enable such catastrophic failures? Or did higher-level management attempt to conceal negligence behind calculated deception? Under relentless questioning, 2 operators finally admitted hastily skipping critical safety checks under pressure. Their changing testimonies intensified public outcry, fueling theories of corporate negligence, sabotage from within, and even external conspiracies intended to cripple Alton Towers' reputation. The tragedy left heartbreaking consequences. Leah Washington suffered devastating injuries, ultimately resulting in the amputation of her left leg. Vicky Balch faced extensive, traumatic reconstructive surgeries. Both young women became powerful symbols of the disaster's lingering scars, physical, emotional, and psychological. Public demands for transparency and accountability grew fiercely. Legal scrutiny intensified, condemning park management for severe safety failures. Yet, despite extensive investigations, concrete answers proved elusive. Authorities failed to conclusively determine whether the tragedy stemmed purely from reckless negligence or something far more sinister. Lingering questions persisted, haunting survivors, investigators, and the wider public alike. Why were critical safety checks ignored at such a vital moment? Who precisely was the mysterious technician seen fleeing the control booth? What motivated someone to deliberately erase critical surveillance footage precisely at the moment of tragedy? To this day, no clear explanation exists. The Smiler roller coaster disaster endures as a profound enigma, permanently etched into the collective memory, an unsettling reminder that behind thrilling rides and joyful laughter, darker secrets can lurk unseen, waiting for the perfect moment to unleash terror. Weeks after the horrifying crash at Alton Towers, tension rose sharply. Investigators scrambled for answers as pressure from the public intensified. The official explanation blaming simple negligence and operational errors didn't silence the troubling doubts simmering beneath the surface. Detective Andrew Clark, tasked with unraveling the truth, grew increasingly uneasy. Crucially, security footage from exactly 1:45 p.m. to 1:55 p.m., the precise window of the accident, had inexplicably disappeared. This wasn't accidental, technical experts told Clark. Someone deliberately erased it. But who would do this? And why, then? A sudden anonymous email dramatically shifted the investigation's direction. It read cryptically, "Check the second control room logs. The truth lies hidden there." Startled and intrigued, Detective Clark immediately examined the rarely used secondary control system, a backup area reserved strictly for maintenance. To his shock, the logs revealed remote commands sent precisely at 1:49 p.m., moments before the catastrophic collision. This meant someone outside the primary control room intentionally restarted the ride, deliberately overriding all automated safety protocols. The horrifying implication was clear sabotage. But who could hold such malicious intent? And why put so many innocent lives at risk? Investigators quickly zeroed in on Michael Hargrave, a senior engineer fired months earlier after persistently warning about serious safety hazards. Hargrave, embittered and outspoken against management, seemed a prime suspect. Yet, during intense questioning, Hargrave passionately denied any involvement. His emotional response resonated deeply with online communities, triggering fierce debates about corporate ethics and employee mistreatment. Still, with no direct evidence tying him to sabotage, investigators had no choice but to move on, just as the case appeared to stall. A new witness emerged: Jessica Mills, a young employee working nearby the day of the disaster. Mills approached authorities nervously, offering a chilling testimony. Minutes before the ride resumed tragically, she saw a familiar figure hurriedly leaving the second control room: John Evans, Alton Towers' assistant manager, a man previously above suspicion. Investigators immediately confronted Evans, who vehemently denied wrongdoing, but under relentless scrutiny. Psychological experts observed troubling signs of deception, subtle emotional suppression, carefully avoided eye contact, and shifting explanations, classic indicators of guilt. Deeper digging into Evans's background uncovered severe gambling debts and hidden financial struggles. Further, internal documents revealed private conflicts with park management, fueling theories of vengeance or perhaps an insurance scheme profiting from lawsuits triggered by the disaster. Social media exploded with speculation, shocked by the suggestion someone might willingly endanger innocent lives for personal gain. Despite mounting circumstantial evidence, detectives still lacked concrete proof. Evans remained free, trapped in a limbo of suspicion and silence. The public, demanding justice, erupted in frustration at perceived investigative failure. Survivors grappled deeply with trauma. Leah Washington, who lost her leg in the crash, tearfully confronted Evans in court, asking, "How could you knowingly destroy our lives? Why?" Evans remained silent, his face emotionless, unreadable. Forensic psychologists chillingly noted Evans's detached demeanor, describing it as profound psychological dissociation, either a sign of calculated deceit or of wrongful persecution. The case divided public opinion sharply. Was Evans truly guilty of unspeakable sabotage, or a convenient scapegoat concealing a darker conspiracy within the company? Online forums buzzed endlessly, analyzing every detail, every subtle gesture, desperate for clarity. Yet, the unsettling truth lingered unresolved, trapped beneath layers of suspicion, secrecy, and unanswered questions. The haunting possibility remained: could such calculated evil exist behind the smiling facade of an amusement park? And if so, would justice ever truly be served years after the tragic Smiler roller coaster accident at Alton Towers? The unsettling mystery still haunts Britain's public consciousness. Alton Towers faced heavy penalties, enforced strict safety measures, and reopened the ride under careful rebranding. Yet, unanswered questions persist. John Evans, the assistant manager under suspicion, resigned quietly, vanishing from public view without explanation. The mysterious technician spotted near the control room remains unidentified. Fueling public suspicion and theories, Detective Clark retired deeply troubled, haunted by frustration over a case that defied closure. Survivors bravely rebuilt their lives, yet remained tormented by lingering doubts. Who truly caused this tragedy? Was justice ever served? And could something like this happen again, unseen and unpunished? Even today, visitors report strange occurrences, unexplained technical glitches, shadows lurking near control rooms, and chilling warnings whispered by park employees. Be careful, the Smiler has a history. Is this just lingering fear, or does a darker truth wait patiently, hidden in the shadows, ready to strike again? What do you think really happened that day on the Smiler roller coaster? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to subscribe for more chilling mysteries. What if the place designed to make your nightmares come alive suddenly turned into your worst nightmare? It was Friday evening, May 11th, 1984, and the sky over Six Flags Great Adventure, New Jersey, burned a fiery orange as dusk settled. Haunted Castle, the popular horror attraction known for its eerie corridors and screams of frightful joy, was packed with teenagers and thrill seekers, laughter echoing from within. The teenagers who entered expected manufactured chills, jump scares, and spooky sights, never imagining the terror waiting in the shadows was all too real. Suddenly, something went horrifyingly wrong. In a darkened corner near the entrance, unnoticed by guests or staff, a tiny spark flickered, unnoticed among the props. Seconds later, flames erupted with terrifying speed, clawing across walls draped in foam padding and plywood materials as flammable as gasoline. Within moments, the haunted castle transformed from a fantasy fright fest into a roaring inferno. What truly caused this nightmare? Was it merely tragic negligence, or something more sinister lurking beneath the surface? And what secrets lay hidden behind the ash and rubble of the Six Flags Haunted Castle disaster? At exactly 6:35 p.m. on May 11, 1984, Laughter echoed inside Six Flags' Great Adventures Haunted Castle, an attraction designed to thrill visitors with spooky, maze-like corridors filled with artificial cobwebs, fake skeletons, and chilling decorations. But beneath its terrifying facade lay a dark truth. This popular ride was built hurriedly, using highly flammable materials like plywood and foam padding, dangerously lacking essential safety features such as emergency lighting, exit signs, fire alarms, and sprinkler systems. Unbeknownst to the excited visitors that night, the haunted castle was a disaster just waiting to ignite. Inside the narrow hallways, 8 teenagers from Franklin K. Lane High School in New York moved eagerly, laughing nervously, gripping each other's hands as they navigated through dimly lit twists and turns. Initially, they didn't notice smoke slowly seeping from cracks near the floor. They believed the smoke was just another immersive special effect of the attraction until panic took hold when choking fumes quickly thickened around them. Outside, Joey Araka, a 16-year-old employee monitoring the haunted castle entrance, suddenly noticed unusual commotion. Joey, hired casually with minimal safety training, rushed toward the doorway, peering inside. His heart froze when he saw flames racing ferociously along corridor walls, rapidly engulfing everything in their path. Immediately, Joey tried activating fire alarms and emergency systems, but inexplicably, nothing worked. Cameras that usually monitored every movement flickered, distorted, and then went completely black. Even Joey's walkie-talkie crackled uselessly, leaving him desperately isolated at the worst possible moment. Visitors outside noticed thick smoke billowing from the castle entrance, quickly replaced by terrifying bursts of flames. Screaming crowds fled in horror as park attendants frantically tried to rescue guests trapped inside. Firefighters arrived swiftly, sirens blaring, but faced overwhelming difficulty the structure's confusing maze-like design. Thick smoke and intense heat turned rescue attempts into a nightmare scenario. Inside, the trapped teenagers panicked, desperately searching for exits that weren't clearly marked. Tragically, none survived. Firefighters later discovered the 8 victims huddled closely together, heartbreakingly close to an exit they never found. Immediately, investigators launched a thorough examination, quickly uncovering disturbing violations of fire safety codes. But something else troubled authorities even more: the simultaneous and suspicious failure of every security measure during the exact moment the blaze erupted. Fire alarms didn't activate, surveillance cameras malfunctioned, and communication devices inexplicably failed. Could this truly be mere coincidence? Witness testimonies quickly added chilling layers to the mystery. Several park visitors mentioned a suspicious figure lurking around the haunted castle shortly before flames erupted. This individual, wearing an employee uniform, appeared nervous and agitated, glancing around anxiously before vanishing. Yet park management records showed no matching employee scheduled in that area. Who was this mysterious person? Could he have deliberately ignited the flames, or was he merely an unfortunate bystander? More troubling evidence emerged during the investigation. Detectives discovered Six Flags management had received explicit warnings 6 weeks earlier from fire inspectors about severe safety hazards in the haunted castle. These critical recommendations for major safety improvements had gone unheeded, lost in bureaucratic delays. Management vehemently denied negligence, even accusing employees who raised concerns of exaggerating claims to deflect blame, further intensifying suspicions. Investigators discovered intentional tampering with the park's CCTV system. Security footage from precisely 6:30 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. had been deliberately erased, requiring manual intervention by someone knowledgeable about the surveillance system. This disturbing discovery dramatically shifted the investigation from tragic accident toward potential criminal conspiracy. Who had the motive and capability to orchestrate such calculated sabotage? Attention quickly focused on Frank Durgan, a recently terminated employee previously involved in heated disputes with management over inadequate safety measures. Friends described Durgan as increasingly bitter and unstable after his firing. When finally located, Durgan startled investigators with his cryptic statement, "I warned them exactly this would happen, but someone else silenced my warnings." Police struggled to decipher his ambiguous words. Was Durgan indirectly confessing guilt, or was he a whistleblower unfairly scapegoated? Psychological profilers concluded that while Durgan exhibited profound resentment and anxiety, he lacked signs typically associated with deliberate sabotage. Online communities fiercely debated theories. Was Durgan a vengeful saboteur or a tragic scapegoat, silenced by powerful figures desperate to conceal negligence? Despite extensive investigation, detectives found no concrete proof definitively linking Durgan or anyone else to deliberate criminal acts. Families of victims struggled with heartbreaking grief, demanding justice that seemed frustratingly out of reach. With each unanswered question, the mystery deepened, hauntingly unresolved. Was the haunted castle fire merely tragic negligence? Or had someone deliberately planned and executed a horrifying crime? To this day, the ghostly ruins of the haunted castle remain a grim reminder of innocence lost, hidden truths, and the chilling reality that sometimes evil lurks silently beneath a facade built for joy. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, authorities quickly labeled the haunted castle fire an accident caused by negligence. Yet, Detective Richard Manning, a seasoned investigator, sensed something darker beneath the ashes. As forensic teams meticulously examined the wreckage, they discovered disturbing evidence, traces of chemical accelerants. This unsettling discovery pointed toward intentional arson, not a random accident. Who would deliberately ignite such a deadly inferno? Killing 8 innocent teenagers, suspicion deepened when 17-year-old employee Joey Iraka, the first eyewitness, offered chilling testimony. Joey vividly remembered a man lingering suspiciously near the castle's rear exit moments before the blaze. It was strange, Joey recounted nervously. He wore an employee jacket, but I didn't recognize him. He moved fast, looking over his shoulder. Seconds later, the fire erupted. Park records revealed no scheduled employee matched this description. Who was this unknown man lurking in the shadows? Further inconsistencies emerged from park management. They vehemently denied receiving prior safety warnings, yet detectives uncovered clear documentation confirming fire marshal inspections, explicitly advising critical safety upgrades months before warnings that Six Flags executives acknowledged but mysteriously ignored. Why would management blatantly lie about such crucial warnings? Then, amidst charred debris near the fire's origin, investigators unearthed a partially burned handwritten note. Reconstruction specialists carefully pieced fragments together, revealing a chilling message. They must pay for their sins. Flames will cleanse the truth. Psychological profilers quickly analyzed the note, concluding the writer exhibited anger and deep resentment, possibly revenge-driven motives. Attention rapidly turned toward Frank Durgan, a recently fired employee known for vocal conflicts with park management regarding safety violations. When confronted, Durgan appeared emotionally unstable, yet insisted passionately on his innocence. "I warned them repeatedly," Durgan exclaimed desperately. "But someone else silenced my warnings. I swear it wasn't me." Forensic psychologists determined Durgan's emotional state indicated genuine distress, inconsistent with the calculated mind of an arsonist. Was Frank Durgan merely a convenient scapegoat for something far more sinister? A shocking anonymous tip abruptly shifted the investigation. The caller advised detectives to re-examine Six Flags' financial insurance records. Pursuing this lead, authorities made a stunning discovery mere weeks before the tragedy. Six Flags had quietly doubled insurance coverage specifically for the haunted castle attraction, one repeatedly flagged as a fire hazard. Why dramatically increase insurance on a known risk? Further investigation into internal memos revealed executives discussing privately how costly and time-consuming necessary safety upgrades would be. Demolition and reconstruction were deemed too expensive, but a catastrophic fire fully insured would neatly resolve their financial dilemma. Public outrage intensified as this revelation emerged, fueling suspicion of cold-hearted corporate sabotage. Online forums and media debates exploded. Could corporate greed truly drive management to intentionally endanger innocent lives? Despite mounting circumstantial evidence and intense public pressure, detectives faced frustrating limitations. They lacked conclusive courtroom-level proof to confirm any single theory definitively. The identity of the mysterious stranger, the disturbing handwritten note, and troubling financial moves by management left lingering doubts. Decades later, questions persist. Was the haunted castle tragedy truly accidental, negligence, or a deliberate corporate conspiracy? And who, if anyone, will ever be held accountable? Years after the devastating haunted castle fire at Six Flags Great Adventure, the truth remains disturbingly unclear, despite settlements, improved safety standards, and demolishing the attraction. Justice never arrived. Families still struggle with grief and endless questions. Detective Manning retired, haunted by doubts, openly stating, "We know a dark truth is buried here, but who lit those flames? And why today?" Eerie tales linger around the memorial built where the castle once stood. Visitors speak of hearing ghostly whispers, feeling sudden chills, and seeing shadowy figures. Is it collective imagination or something more sinister? Online communities still passionately debate theories of negligence, sabotage, or corporate conspiracy. Crucial questions remain unanswered. Who was the mysterious employee seen fleeing the area moments before the fire? Why did every safety mechanism fail simultaneously? Could corporate greed truly sacrifice innocent lives? The chilling mystery endures, fueling fear that something like this might happen again. Who, or what, is hiding beneath the ashes at Six Flags? Share your thoughts below, because unanswered questions still burn brightly. Have you ever imagined stepping into a ride designed to thrill, only to find yourself trapped inside a raging inferno? What if your screams were not part of the performance, but cries for help no one could hear? On the chilly night of June 9, 1979, a leisurely visit to Luna Park, Sydney's iconic amusement spot, quickly spiraled into a horrifying catastrophe. Within minutes, joyous laughter morphed into terrified screams as the park's beloved ghost train burst into flames, engulfing everything in its path. 7 innocent people perished within moments, 6 of them young children. Among the victims was the godson family, whose night of carefree fun abruptly transformed into unimaginable tragedy. Was this simply a tragic accident caused by negligence? Or did something far darker lurk behind the smoke and fire? More alarmingly, who was the mysterious man seen lingering suspiciously around the ride moments before disaster struck, and why did all security cameras suddenly stop working, precisely when they were needed most? This chilling story doesn't end with the extinguishing of flames. Instead, it ignites deeper questions haunting Sydney for decades, leaving investigators, families, and witnesses tormented by unanswered mysteries. What really happened that dark night at Luna Park on the evening of June 9, 1979? Luna Park in Sydney buzzed with laughter and excitement. Overlooking Sydney Harbor, the amusement park attracted crowds eager for thrilling rides and family fun. Among the favorites was the Ghost Train, a dark ride designed to offer spooky thrills through twisting tunnels and creepy animatronics. Around 10:00 p.m., John and Jenny Godson, with their 2 sons, Damien and Craig, stepped eagerly into line for the Ghost Train, unaware they were about to enter a real-life nightmare. At precisely 10:15 p.m., guests near the ride noticed a strange sight, faint smoke drifting from the rear of the building. Initially dismissed as part of the attraction's eerie effects, it quickly became apparent that something was terribly wrong within seconds. Smoke intensified into violent flames, racing along walls constructed from highly flammable plywood and fabrics. Visitors trapped inside the twisting tunnels initially mistook smoke and heat as special effects, realizing far too late the imminent danger they faced. Outside, chaos erupted. Employees frantically shouted warnings, guiding terrified guests away from danger. But for the Godson family and 3 teenage riders trapped within, escape proved tragically impossible. Surrounded by darkness, smoke, and confusion, they searched desperately for exits, only to find none clearly marked or accessible. Firefighters arrived swiftly, sirens piercing the panic-filled air. But fierce flames obstructed their rescue efforts. By the time the blaze was contained, Luna Park's iconic ghost train was reduced to a smoldering shell. Rescue teams entering the wreckage made the heartbreaking discovery of 7 lifeless bodies, tragically close to an exit door they never reached. What initially seemed like a catastrophic accident soon revealed troubling signs of something darker. Investigators quickly noticed unsettling details that pointed away from mere negligence. Multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing a suspicious man lingering around the ghost train shortly before the fire erupted. James O'Connor, a Luna Park security guard, clearly recalled, "I saw a man wearing a maintenance uniform. He seemed nervous, agitated, glancing around anxiously. Before I could confront him, he disappeared behind the ride. Moments later, smoke filled the air." However, when detectives reviewed employment records, no scheduled maintenance staff matched this man's description that night. Who was this mysterious individual? Was he a mere bystander, or the one responsible for igniting the deadly inferno? Further complicating the investigation was an alarming discovery. Luna Park's surveillance system inexplicably failed precisely between 10:00 p.m. and 10:30 p.m. Experts analyzed the CCTV thoroughly, concluding the cameras had been deliberately disabled. The park management initially attributed these issues to routine electrical faults. Yet, under deeper questioning, employees admitted seeing an unfamiliar man near the security control room that evening, dressed in Luna Park attire but acting strangely. As forensic teams combed the charred remains, they uncovered even more disturbing evidence. Traces of chemical accelerants, substances specifically used to rapidly spread fire, were identified in multiple locations throughout the ride. Arson expert Thomas Mitchell bluntly stated, "This wasn't an accident, it was intentional." Suddenly, the investigation turned to possible internal sabotage. Could a disgruntled employee, harboring deep resentment, have deliberately started the blaze? Investigators scrutinized Luna Park's recent personnel history, uncovering a troubling trend. Management had fired several employees after bitter disputes over lax safety protocols and hazardous materials used in rides, particularly concerning the ghost train. Roger Allen, a former park employee recently dismissed over safety disputes, emerged as a prime suspect. Detectives discovered Allen had vehemently warned management of potential tragedies resulting from their negligence. During interrogation, Allen expressed intense frustration, yet adamantly denied causing harm. "I warned them repeatedly. I'd never hurt innocent people." Forensic psychologist Dr. Emily Harris carefully assessed Allen, noting genuine guilt, frustration, and profound sadness, signs consistent with someone desperate to prevent disaster rather than cause it. If Allen wasn't responsible, who else had motive and opportunity to execute such a calculated, deadly sabotage? Investigators faced troubling inconsistencies at every turn: the absence of CCTV footage, sightings of the suspicious individual, and management's troubling disregard for employee safety warnings. The deeper detectives probed, the more it became apparent someone deliberately orchestrated this catastrophe. But who and why? Speculation ran rampant, fueling theories of insurance fraud, revenge, or even darker political influences. Authorities noted contentious land rights issues around Luna Park at the time. Could powerful interests have arranged a catastrophe to force redevelopment amid intense public debate? Lead detective Samuel Carter privately grappled with a chilling suspicion. Perhaps powerful figures within management had deliberately impeded the investigation, burying inconvenient truths beneath layers of deceit. The ghost train fire evolved into an agonizing puzzle of secrets, cover-ups, and suspicion. Families demanded justice, communities demanded answers. Yet, as pressure mounted, Detective Carter wondered whether the chilling truth of that tragic night would ever truly surface, or if it would remain hidden forever beneath Luna Park's cheerful facade, leaving haunting questions and profound grief in its wake. In the tense weeks after the devastating ghost train fire, Detective Samuel Carter faced growing frustration. Forensic experts had reached a chilling conclusion: the blaze was no accident. Chemical accelerants confirmed deliberate arson, igniting public suspicion and fear. But who could commit such a horrific crime? Eyewitness reports focused attention on a mysterious man seen lurking behind the ride just moments before flames erupted. Witnesses described him as nervous and agitated, wearing a Luna Park uniform, but park records showed no matching employee scheduled that night. Despite intensive efforts, investigators couldn't identify this stranger. Who was this shadowy figure, and could he hold the key to unraveling the tragedy? Further unsettling details emerged. Surveillance footage covering the critical time frame precisely when the fire began had been deliberately erased. Experts stated confidently only someone with insider knowledge could disable Luna Park's sophisticated CCTV systems, when confronted by Detective Carter, Luna Park's security supervisor, Stephen Mills, offered only vague excuses about technical issues, his demeanor tense and evasive. Attention then shifted to Roger Allen, a former Luna Park employee fired months earlier after repeated safety complaints. Initially a prime suspect, Allen passionately proclaimed his innocence. Psychological profiler Dr. Emily Harris confirmed Allen exhibited genuine emotional distress, guilt, and frustration, but no indication of calculated deception. Allen provided internal documents proving he had repeatedly warned Luna Park management about hazardous materials and inadequate safety measures. Curiously, these critical records had never been publicly disclosed, raising troubling questions. Was Allen being deliberately scapegoated to protect someone higher up? Then, in a shocking twist, Detective Carter received an anonymous call from a former Luna Park technician. The caller revealed disturbing inside information. "I was instructed by upper management to overlook serious safety hazards." Weeks before the fire, senior executives discussed declining profits, convinced that a catastrophic incident fully covered by insurance would secure government compensation and fund a complete park redevelopment. Stunned, Carter immediately investigated Luna Park's financial records. His discovery was staggering. Just 2 months prior to the fire, park executives had quietly doubled their insurance coverage, specifically targeting catastrophic damage and lost revenue. Could this unimaginable tragedy have been a cold-blooded financial strategy? Orchestrated by corporate greed, social media exploded with outrage and theories. Was Luna Park's beloved management truly capable of sacrificing innocent lives for profit? Despite mounting suspicion, Carter lacked definitive evidence for a conviction. The anonymous whistleblower refused to testify openly, leaving the detective haunted by unanswered questions and Sydney gripped by a chilling, unresolved mystery. Decades after Sydney's darkest night at Luna Park, the chilling mystery of the ghost train fire still lingers. Despite reopening, unsettling questions remain unanswered. Detective Carter, haunted by the unsolved case, retired with frustration, stating, "We found disturbing truths hidden beneath Luna Park's cheerful facade, but powerful forces kept them buried." Roger Allen, the ostracized former employee, died in obscurity, proclaiming innocence until his final days. Stephen Mills, head of security, abruptly disappeared after the inquiry. Today, park visitors still report eerie phenomena, flickering lights, strange chills, distant echoes of screams as if the past refuses to rest. Online debates continue fiercely, each theory fueling suspicion and intrigue. Who was the mysterious man spotted lurking before the fire erupted? Why were surveillance cameras deliberately disabled at the exact crucial moment? Could beloved Luna Park conceal darker secrets behind smiling masks and bright lights decades on? The tragedy's haunting questions remain alive, buried beneath layers of secrecy, deception, and tragedy, waiting silently for justice to finally surface.